Okay, so today, again, another chill day. Um, reason why, I mean, let's be real. No, I probably should have made a bucket. Yeah, I feel like I've been talking maybe a little bit too, maybe passionately, and maybe a little bit too seriously, talking about serious topics and all that junk. I don't think that's a bad thing, but maybe a little bit too much for my personal taste. But today, um, as I'm recording this, um, Chainsaw Man ended. One of my favorite like mangas of all time, favorite series of all time, um, has ended. Am I sad? A little bit. Yeah, definitely. 100% I am. I am a bit sad that Chainsaw Man ended. Um, and because I'm gonna be talking about the ending, obviously there's gonna be spoilers. And if you are also a Chainsaw Man fan that hasn't seen the ending yet, or whatever, click off this video now because I'm gonna be talking about it and there will be spoilers. All right, all right. So you can't blame me for anything that's happened or anything that you get spoiled by. Oh, I should have made a shield. That's okay. Um, but no, I want to talk about that. Mainly because I think a lot of people, well, especially like on Twitter, um, I saw a lot of people on Twitter be really dissatisfied about. Give me a second. Be really dissatisfied about how it ended, right, and the way it ended, right. And again, this is gonna be spoilers, so if you want to go see it for yourself or go read it, for yourself or whatever, click off now. But I'm gonna be talking about it. Um, I feel like the way it ended, people were really dissatisfied about it. I personally, I actually didn't mind the ending. I actually loved it. I actually really like it. And it's the ending that I feel like is honestly the most fitting because let me actually, are they hostile? I feel like that thing is hostile. Um is that thing hostile? It's coming up towards me like it wants to attack me. Oh, yep, it definitely is. Um no, but like I didn't mind the ending. I thought it was a good ending. It ended with obviously in 231, Pochita swallowed himself up, effectively. I have to kill this thing. Effectively, ow. Um, effectively erasing the fear of chainsaws, because in Chainsaw Man, each devil, a devil is a physical embodiment of fears, right? So like there's ears, there's like, believe it or not, there's an ear devil. Um, there's a zombie one, control, fear or death, famine, all that. Pretty much like almost anything that you could think of, probably a fear. Um, and Pochita, you know, because he's a chainsaw devil, as Chainsaw Man, actually, I should say, he has the ability to erase other devils by just swallowing them, right? And when he swallows them, that fear essentially gets erased in humanity, and it's like they never existed in the first place, right? So in 231, he swallows himself because I'm assuming it's kind of like a Hail Mary, right? Kind of like there's nothing that we can do. We can't fight, Yoru and, you know, all of her stuff, with all of her weapons and junk. And if, Denji wants to save himself and save Asa, then like this probably has to be done, right? Um, so Pochita swallows himself. It ends. Move on to 232, the final chapter, and we're in this new timeline, right? So there's two timelines in Chainsaw Man now, right? There's two timelines. There is the original one, and there's this new one that um I'm gonna consider canon, right? I don't know. I don't know if to consider it canon or not because I don't know if we'll see like a continuation, like an aftermath of what happened in that original timeline where Pochita swallowed himself. I would like to see that, but I don't know if Fujimoto will, you know, will do that. Am I gonna die? Poison. No, I'm good. I don't know if Fujimoto will do that. But no, I liked it. Basically, the ending was we get sent to this timeline where there was never a Chainsaw Man to begin with, essentially. There's never a Chainsaw Man to begin with, and Denji is just regular Denji. He goes to that warehouse, dies as a zombie devil, and then, or like almost does or something, and then Power comes through, right? Power comes through and makes a contract with him, I think, or something like that. And essentially, he's able to live now, right? He's able to live. He doesn't die. And then Nayuta, instead of Makima, comes through and kind of employs them to be devil hunters while also attending, high school, right? While also attending high school. And, um, they're defeating devils and all that, and it's only Nayuta, Denji, and Power that we've seen come back so far, right? And then eventually, uh, we see Asa is back, right? And she's just, I'm pretty sure she's just like a normal, like kid. She's like normal, and she doesn't have Yoru. She like she's not Yoru's host anymore, right? So she's just like a regular high schooler, and you know, Bucky is also there, which Bucky is the fear of chickens, right? And like and Denji like saves her from falling over or something like that. She thanks him and she calls him Chainsaw Man, and his heart beats a bit, and Denji's heart beats a bit because Asa called her Chainsaw Man, because Denji was wielding a chainsaw in order to defeat another devil, right? Tells Power. Power says he has like heart disease or something, and that she can, solve it, but they have to go eat first, and then they leave. And then Denji says, he's broke, he can't afford it, and then he has to go nag their seniors again. And that's pretty much how it ends, right? There's like little recollection about. Obviously, like there's like no connections, right? Because it's a new timeline, same characters but new timeline, pretty much. Um, because of that, there's no built relationship between Asa and Denji. I'm assuming, at least. And then obviously the relationship between Power and Denji is growing right now, right? Again, I don't think it's a bad ending. I actually like the ending. It's, in my opinion, it's a, I'm gonna assume like a way better ending than what like we could have gotten with the original timeline. Because with the original timeline, like I would put money that because like everything was like destroyed. Like I would say like worldwide. Like everything was destroyed. From like uh Yoru's junk and all that stuff, right? Like I'm pretty like everything was destroyed, no? Like everything was like being like wrecked and all that. And you know, I guarantee you, if we got an ending in the original timeline, it probably would have ended with something like Yoru winning and then Denji just dies or something like that. You know, Denji dies and then there's just like an endless war with Yoru and all that and stuff, and like Yoru becomes unkillable or something. I don't know. But infinitely, the ending we got, I think, is infinitely better than the ending we probably could have had, right? Um, Again, I don't hate it. Um, a lot of people do, and I've seen a lot of people draw parallel, not draw parallels, but a lot of people say that like modern anime or like stuff like that, or like these modern series, you know, what is up with all these series having like not good endings? And I mean, I think there are objectively good endings and like endings that are really left to, you know, viewer interpretation of whether it's good or not, right? Like in my opinion, like I see, like a lot of people think that like My Hero is like the only like modern anime that has like gotten a good ending, right? And like I would say, yeah, like I would agree, right? My Hero's ending was good. I did, yeah, I love My Hero. I actually like My Hero. But yeah, My Hero's ending was good. I did like My Hero's ending. I mean, I don't really see how you could hate it. Um, but I think it's kind of unfair to compare endings, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of these series are like kind of different from each other, right? And like you can't really draw like I can't you can't really draw parallels from like JJK to Chainsaw Man or JJK to you know JJK's ending to Chainsaw Man's ending or My Hero's ending or whatever, right? And you know, I mean that's just how it is. But I feel like with oh my god, my thing just broke. I make a new one? I think I can. But the thing is, like, again, like I like it's just I think it's unfair to call Chainsaw Man's ending bad because I mean, if I were to ask you, like, if you thought it was bad, what would you change about it? Like, what would you do? What would you change about it? Like, from what happened from 231, right? You can't change what happened in 231, right? What would you change about the ending? Would you completely rewrite the ending? Like, would you completely do something different? Or, you know, like, would you have done what, you know, what had happened in the original timeline or, you know, whatever? It's like, what would, like, you have done? And I think, I don't know, bro, if I find that thing is going to demolish me. Um, like, I think it's the best ending that we, like, got, right? Like, I think it's the best ending that we could have received. And I want to say, like, maybe Fujimoto, like, ended it like that because he maybe didn't necessarily want to, I suppose, write Denji off as, like, dead in the end because, like, he never really got to live a normal life and, uh, you know, live normally, go to school like a normal kid, like a normal, you know, kid his age, um, and stuff like that. And like it probably would have been really sad. And I think regardless of how sensible a bad ending might have been, like in terms of like character death or something like that, I think a good and hopeful ending that's largely left to viewer interpretation is honestly infinitely better than an ending that is bad, right? Like I don't want to see Denji's dead corpse you know, in that shed, right? I don't want to see that. Who wants to like? I don't. Who the heck wants to see that, bro? Like seriously. Um, but no, like I wonder what these people who are saying Chainsaw Man's ending is terrible. What would these people have? You know, how would they have done it differently? You know, like from 231, because like keep in mind, there Pachita swallowed himself up. Right? I'm lagging a lot. Pachita swallowed himself up, so he doesn't exist anymore. Denji can't become Chainsaw Man, and Denji is pretty much no longer like invincible, right? And you know, Yoru is technically still at large, and you know that's really it, right? Like Yoru is number one enemy. Denji can't do anything because Pachita swallowed himself up. Wow, that creeper is scary. You know, so what is he gonna do about it? There's not really anything he can do about it except just lay there and die, right? Except just lay there and die. So it makes me just like I'm, I got a lacking. I don't want to die. Um, it genuinely makes me question, like, like again, what would these people have done differently? You know, um, I liked it. The main reason why I liked the origin or the like how Chainsaw Man ended was because when Denji at the end said like he has to go nag his seniors about like food, about like getting food or something because he's broke. That pretty much implied that Aki is alive and that Himeno is alive. And I mean, look at my skin, look at my cape. I love even my username is Himi Barf Gaming. I love Himeno, and if Himeno's alive, go to Dending, bro. That's all I'm saying. Um, yeah, that's all I'm saying. I might die right here. No, we're good. Yeah, but you know, Himeno alive. Hey, all I needed to hear, bro. All I needed to hear. But no, like again, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was that bad. Um, People were saying it's bad. I mean, I, I would just say that like just kind of enjoy what he had. Oh, another thing, people were saying that like Fujimoto was like burnt out by the end of Chainsaw Man, and like I could kind of see that and how things were playing out and kind of how short like the chapters got. Um, how short like the chapters started getting. Is that Rick? Yeah, it's Rick. Um, I could kind of see that, but you know, and I would definitely say like there probably was some level of like burnout or creative drought that you know Fujimoto was going through, and that's probably why he ended it right there. But then again, like the way things were shaping up, you know, it kind of felt necessary for Chainsaw Man to end, right? Like where it did, right? It kind of felt necessary for it to end where you know it ended. That is possibly the worst spawner. There's also a lot of things. I'm very scared. Um, but no, like Fujimoto probably was experiencing some sort of like creative drought. He probably was feeling burnt out with Chainsaw Man because, like, I think how old is Chainsaw Man? Like 7 years old or something like that. Because I think it was like first published in like 2019. Maybe I could be totally wrong off this, but like you know, like I could totally see if he was ever experiencing creative drought or some kind of burnout, and that's probably why he ended it. I saw a lot of people were saying that like the ending was rushed. I honestly never really felt that way about it. Like if I'm gonna be completely honest, I never really felt that way about it. Um, Again, I thought it was great. Um, and it's kind of a lot to take in. This terrain. Um, what else am I trying to say here? I think people are just like criticizing it too heavily, right? That's what I think. I think people are just, you know, I think people might just be criticizing it too heavily because as prolific and as popular as Chainsaw Man became, I kind of feel like it never really was intending to get. Oh my god. Okay, that all right. That actually scared me. Why was that? Okay, you know what? If any mob captains are creepers, bro, I'm just gonna leave them alone. Um, what was I saying? Uh, oh, I like maybe Chainsaw Man was never really meant to become popular, and I mean that could be said about like any like popular anime or manga series, right? Like maybe JJK was never really meant to get popular, but then again, like this is the same guy who made Look Back, and and oh, what was the other one? Goodbye Eri, I think, or something like that. Which I have yet. I want to read both of those. Um, what is that? What mob is that? Mob captain? If it's a creeper, I'm gonna die. Um, no, but oh, it's a skeleton. Um, how prolific would the skeleton be? Um, oh my God, the spider would not let up. I kind of want to go see what that skeleton is talking about. But no, like, um, wow, and I took that much damage. Like, I genuinely think that the ending wasn't that bad. I think people are kind of just like dissatisfied. Yeah, they just yeah, that's, um, people are just like dissatisfied with endings nowadays. Like, especially, oh my god, I just got a trident. That is insane. Riptide 4, bro. I'm I'm leaving. um, oh my god. I don't know if I take fall damage from Riptide. But no, I didn't think it was that bad. And hey, what Denji said at the end implies that Himeno's alive, bro. And if Himeno's alive, all I need to hear, bro. Enough said. For real. Enough said. But no. Like I love Chainsaw Man. I love picking it up. I love the characters and in my opinion is like one of the best pieces of illustrated media of all time. Fight me. No, but I generally think it's a good read. I think people should read it as unsatisfying. Hey, if I'm gonna be honest, bro, Chainsaw Man's ending was a lot better than Stranger Things' ending. Hey, that's all I'm saying. Um, but that's another, Stranger Things. Hey, that's another topic for another time. I'm drawing this out a little bit. 24 minutes on the recording. Hopefully, I don't die. I go back up. But yeah, chill day. Excuse me, chill day. I just wanted to talk about Chainsaw Man's ending. Again, I thought it was a good ending. I thought it was amazing. Chainsaw Man had an amazing run. It's got amazing characters. I think it has an amazing story. Love the characters. Love Denji. Love Himeno. Yeah. So I guess that's it.